Someone recently asked me what full-service self-publishing company I recommended, and the long story short is that I don't recommend any full-service self-publishing companies. So full service means basically that you write your manuscript, you give it to the full service self-publishing company, they do the rest. AKA, it's kind of like a traditional publisher where you wrote the book and they do the stuff like the formatting, the cover design, the marketing, the launching of the book, and all of that hard stuff. And all of that stuff that can feel very complicated to self-publishers, especially someone who's never self-published a book before. And I just plain and simple don't recommend that you hire someone to do all the work for you. And this video, we're going to be talking about why. Hello everyone, my name is Mandi Lynn. I'm an author, book cover designer, and the creator of the Book Launch Planner series, and I make weekly videos on the business of being an author. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. This video could be a very long video, but I want to keep today's topic very, very specific, and that's hiring someone to publish your book for you. And let's just keep it plain and simple, call it what it is. It's a vanity press. Now, what is a vanity press? In the simplest, shortest definition, it is when an author pays a publisher to publish their book. Now, how exactly is a vanity press different from self-publishing? Self-publishing is when you, the author, do all the work yourself to get your book formatted, get the book cover designed, do the marketing, do the planning, do the uploading of the book onto different platforms, and publishing the book yourself. That is self-publishing. You can also hire freelancers to do a lot of the work for you, and it still counts as self-publishing. Vanity press is a little different, and vanity presses can vary depending on the vanity press, but basically they kind of act as a traditional publisher, but you pay them to publish your book. And you also pay them to hire the freelancers that do all the work on your book as well. As a self-publisher, you have complete control over everything that happens, but a vanity publisher, you don't have complete control, and a lot of the times you also sign the rights away to your book as well. Because like I said, they act like a traditional publisher, but you pay them. And in my opinion, that makes them a scam because they are posing as a traditional publisher, but you pay them. And you shouldn't have to pay your book to be traditionally published. But vanity presses a lot of the time like to make themselves look like a one-stop shop where you just bring the manuscript to them, they find an editor, they find a cover designer, they find a book formatter, and they also publish the book under their press name. And that's why it's typically called a vanity press, because a lot of people do it for vanity reasons. It will look like you're traditionally published, though you weren't traditionally published. And a lot of the issue as well is a lot of the times the vanity presses will sometimes approach you and make it seem like they've chosen you to be published, when in reality they're asking you for money, and that makes them a service, not a publisher, in my opinion. Most people, myself included, think of vanity presses as a scam. They take your money to publish your book, but they don't care if it sells well. Because here's the difference between a vanity publisher and a traditional publisher. A vanity publisher makes their money off of you, the author, because you pay them to publish your book. Whereas traditional publishers pay you money because they are giving you royalties. Traditional publishers make money off of the readers that buy the book, as the way things are supposed to happen. So because of the way money works for vanity presses, they don't care if your book sells well. So when it comes to making sure it has a good book cover, they don't care as much. When it comes to making sure that the book gets marketed, they don't care. A lot of the times, if they do offer marketing, which most of them don't, but if they do offer marketing, it's usually marketing on social media platforms where they bought the followers anyways, so the followers aren't loyal, the followers followers are just bots most of the time. So they may look like they have a lot of likes and followers, but if you check to see if there's any comments or shares, there's not a lot of engagement on any of their posts. Vanity presses are also kind of notorious for being either vague about how much they're going to charge or constantly asking for more money or upcharging you and telling you you need services that you don't actually need, because again, they don't make money off of the book selling. They make money off of you, the author, paying them for all these different services. And the services that you do pay for are often outrageously expensive. So say they charge $1,000 for book cover design, when in reality you could hire a book cover designer on your own for $200 to $500 depending on how much experience the book cover designer has. Because again, they're making money off the services, so you have to pay for the service and for the vanity press. Let me make this very clear. If a publisher approaches you to publish your book, you should not be paying them under any circumstances. We all know that when it comes to comparing self-publishing and traditional publishing, they each have their pros and cons. But when it comes to vanity presses, they have the cons of both categories of self-publishing and traditional publishing. So let's just list out all the cons of publishing with a vanity press. They typically retain the rights to your book. So if you change your mind later down the line of where you want to distribute your book or what you want the book cover to look like or anything, you don't get to make those decisions anymore. You pay for everything, and this is usually thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars. Vanity presses also tend to have less distribution than traditional publishers, and sometimes even less distribution than self-publishers, because again, they don't care if the book sells well. And last but not least, they have low or no marketing for their books. Now, just to be fair, we will list out the pros to vanity presses, which is they do all the work of publishing for you, but like I said, the work that they do might not be good work. They could do great work with your book, but you're really taking a gamble on vanity presses because they don't care if the book sells well. And the biggest pro to vanity presses, which I think is why most people go to it, is that they look like a legit publisher. So when you have your final product, you are published under a publisher rather than looking like you are self-published. But in my opinion, if you self-publish the right way, you'll still look like you are traditionally published anyways. All in all, the pros do not outweigh the cons. So if you're going to spend thousands of dollars publishing your book anyways, please make sure you retain the rights to your book and do not work with a vanity publisher, and instead hire freelancers yourself. Learn how to self-publish your book because it will be well worth your time and money. It will be overwhelming at first, but these days there are so many resources online to teach you how to self-publish your book. In fact, that's what this entire YouTube channel is about. So if you are someone considering working with a vanity press, please don't. Visit my YouTube channel. I have plenty of playlists on teaching you how to self-publish your book. In fact, I will link the Beginner's Guide to Self-Publishing a Book playlist here in the description of this video. So if you're already going to be spending a lot of money on publishing your book, make sure you hand pick out all the freelancers yourself. If you're someone who's overwhelmed by the self-publishing process, outsource. If you don't know how to format your book for print, hire a book formatter. If you don't know how to design a book cover, hire a book cover designer. If you don't know how to upload the book, there are technically people who will upload the book for you, but I don't recommend that you hire people to upload the book for you. I highly recommend that you learn how to do all the admin work that you need to do to self-publish your book. When it comes to hiring people for services like design, that's totally fine. And hiring people for marketing, you can do that too. But please make sure that you know how to do all the admin work for your book. If you're someone who wants to do the DIY method, you can absolutely learn how to do everything yourself as well. I have a course on how to design book covers. I have a course on how to use Photoshop. I have a course on typography, and then I have a course on the photo manipulation side of Photoshop as well. And then I also have a course on formatting your book for print and ebook. So truly, you can do it all yourself if you want to, or you can go the route of hiring a professional. When it comes to the publishing side of things and the admin work that I know a lot of people are trying to avoid, it is so easy to work with print-on-demand companies now, and I have countless tutorials on each of them. So whether you work with Kindle Direct Publishing, Ingram Spark, Draft2Digital, Barnes & Noble Press, or some of the many other print-on-demand distributors out there are tutorials out there on how to do it. And the reason I want you to learn how to do it yourself is because it is very, very tempting to hire someone to upload your book for you. But the thing is, when it comes to self-publishing a book, you do not just upload your book once and be done. You upload your book, and as things change in the industry, you have to go in and change things. So you have to change the metadata of the book, or maybe you need to update your book blurb, or maybe you want to update the book cover. It's very important that you know how to do that yourself so you save yourself money. There's no reason to hire someone to upload your book onto a print-on-demand company because it is so easy to learn. Can you publish your book once and then never touch it again? Yes, absolutely. But you're going to miss out on sales. Amazon especially is constantly changing their guidelines behind keywords and categories and how you should be putting in the metadata of your book. And that's why it's so important to know how to change this information yourself. So when small little changes that happen on a regular basis, you can do it yourself rather than hunting down someone and hiring someone to do it for you. So here are my recommendations. Watch as many videos on YouTube about self-publishing as possible. Just start dipping your toe into the world of self-publishing. If you're someone who's nervous about the uploading process for one of the print-on-demand companies, make an account for that company and start clicking around. Pretend like you're uploading your book, but you're not actually uploading your book. That way you can just get familiar with the platform. Another option is that you can hire a coach. There are people who act as self-publishing coaches to walk you through the self-publishing process. They will teach you literally every step along the way. That way, when you no longer have that coach, you can do these same things yourself without needing to pay someone to do it. And to answer your question, no, I'm not a coach. Everyone asks me about it. I don't have the time in my day to coach people individually. That's why I make these YouTube videos. And the way I'll wrap up this video is that I do quickly want to mention BookBaby because so many people have asked me about BookBaby. It's kind of like, I don't know how to categorize it because when I first was looking into it, it kind of seemed like a vanity press, but they're definitely not a vanity press. They're more like a print-on-demand company, but they don't offer print-on-demand. You have to order your books in bulk, but they also offer different services like editing and cover design and formatting your book. So they're like a one-stop shop for your book, but there's a lot to be said about BookBaby, and it's kind of like towing the line of being a vanity press without being a vanity press, like you still retain the rights to your book. So it's a self-publishing platform, but it's also a one-stop shop, but it's also, in my opinion, very, very expensive. So if you guys want a separate video on BookBaby, let me know in the comments down below because I do need to dive into it and really see what there is to talk about with BookBaby. But that is all I'm going to talk about today when it comes to hiring someone to self-publish your book for you, or in this case, why vanity presses are bad. Anyways, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.